They say a cat has 9 lives, but old Ginger was determined to spend his last one in a home. He wasn't just dreaming of a better life anymore. He was going to find it, no matter the challenge. Standing tall, he left the cold, lonely alley he'd always known, a silent promise in his tired eyes. His first obstacle was a busy street, a roaring river of iron and light. To Ginger, the cars were not just cars. They were metal beasts with glaring eyes, thundering through the night. He waited, his heart pounding, until a small gap appeared. With a burst of courage he didn't know he had, he dashed across the asphalt. He found refuge in a dark park, where he met Spike, a bulldog whose size was as intimidating as the shadows. But as Spike looked into the old cat's determined gaze, his scary growl softened into a friendly grunt. He nodded his massive head, pointing Ginger toward a quiet neighborhood just beyond the trees. Following the dog's advice, Ginger entered a confusing maze of suburban backyard fences. Every fence looked the same, and exhaustion gnawed at his bones. But the vision of a warm, soft bed pushed him onward, one weary paw in front of the other. Finally, he saw it. A single house with a warm porch light glowing like a beacon of hope. Exhausted but triumphant, he had finished his great adventure. Ginger curled up on the welcome mat, closed his eyes, and waited for the morning to come. Madison, an 11-year-old with a heart as bright as her blonde hair, opened her front door one crisp morning, not expecting the small, huddled surprise on her welcome mat. There, curled into a tight ball against the chill, was an old, weary orange tabby cat, fast asleep. His fur was dull and matted, and he looked as though he had traveled a long and difficult road. The morning light cast a gentle glow on his tired form, and a sense of stillness hung in the air, as if the world was holding its breath. Madison's heart immediately went out to the little creature, a silent promise forming in her mind before she even fully understood it herself. She knew, in that instant, that she couldn't leave him there. Without a second thought, she knelt down, her movements slow and deliberate so as not to startle him. She gently scooped the sleeping cat into her arms, his small body surprisingly light. He stirred slightly but didn't protest, as if sensing the kindness in her touch. Madison carried him inside, closing the door softly behind them, shutting out the cold and welcoming him into the warmth and safety of her home. The contrast between the harshness of the outside world and the secure embrace of her house was immediate and profound. For the first time in what seemed like a very long while, the little cat was out of the elements, protected from whatever hardships he had been facing alone. Once inside, the cat slowly woke up. He blinked his weary eyes, taking in the new surroundings with a cautious curiosity. He carefully placed one paw, then another, on the soft living room rug. Madison watched from a distance, giving him the space he needed to explore. He moved with a quiet determination, his nose twitching as he sniffed at the leg of a chair, the corner of a bookshelf, and the tantalizing scents wafting from the kitchen. Every new smell seemed to tell him a story of comfort and security. He was no longer on guard, no longer fighting for survival. Here, in this strange but gentle place, he could finally begin to lower his defenses and simply exist. Seeing how dirty his fur was, Madison knew the next step was a bath. He shot her a distinctly grumpy look, his ears flattened in protest. But he remained remarkably patient. Madison lathered the soap, working it through his matted orange fur, washing away weeks, perhaps months, of grime and hardship. The water turned murky as she rinsed him, revealing the bright, vibrant coat that had been hidden beneath. He endured the entire process with a quiet resignation, a silent participant in his own transformation. After he was dried and fluffy, the change was astonishing. The weary traveler from the doorstep had vanished, replaced by a handsome, clean cat with soft, vibrant fur. He found a sunny spot on the rug and began to groom himself, a look of pure contentment on his face. Madison sat on the floor nearby, watching him. In that quiet moment, watching the now peaceful cat resting in the warmth of her home, a decision settled firmly in her heart. He wasn't just a temporary guest, he belonged here. This was not just a house, but a home, and it was his now too. She knew, with absolute certainty, that he was meant to stay forever. She decided to name him Ginger. Later that evening, as Madison read a book on the sofa, Ginger hopped onto her lap. He circled once before settling down, his body a warm, comforting weight against hers. A deep, rumbling purr started in his chest, a sound of profound happiness and gratitude that filled the quiet room. Madison stroked his soft fur, a smile spreading across her face. He was safe, he was loved, and he was finally home. Ginger, the old, determined cat, had found his new beginning, and in doing so, had brought a new and wonderful joy into Madison's life.
Tell me